like you were gonna say something like that.
I'm just here for the ride. I'm here to watch what happens. I am making no predictions. I have no predictions. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You're just here to save me from having to solo cast. I don't blame you. It's been a rough one. Pretty sure everybody here at the Castaways is tired. It's been a grueling 4-day-long double qualifier, but some teams have finally made it to the closed qualifier. They've actually made it to that, you know, kind of higher echelon. I wouldn't say higher echelon. I mean, they're still gonna have to play kind of.
It's the next stage.
The next stage. Maybe that's a better word for it. But really, from here on out, I don't exactly know what to expect. Pittsburgh Knights, I have to say that they're a shoo-in after what we saw on map 1, but 2 could easily kind of be a little bit more interesting. We could see easily things get a little bit more spooky, a little bit more scary. Bind is a very common sight for a number of teams in this kind of tier 2, tier 3 echelon, or knocking on the door of tier 1 even. Right now, Pittsburgh Knights don't want to try tempering and finding out what this big question mark actually could be providing and bringing as a challenge. There's a drone in over towards B that spots and tags one player, but it's not going to actually convert into a kill just much yet. Kyro needs to be careful though, as his angle is being watched by, interestingly enough, Cevv, who's decided to say screw it to the Jet and bring it out onto Cypher. We saw him frag out hard on Cypher, or on Jet, by the way, so this is huge. But regardless, the push will begin.
Too many heads to find there for Cevv. Zambie trying to lock things down from mid, though. Gets at least one. Drops that paranoia. Trade comes through. ZK last alive. And the last to fall for the Pittsburgh Knights. Shiba strike first the pistol round. But the same could be said for Ascent too, Kieran. And that's the scary thing, I think, if you are a Shiba fan, is the fact that it's very eerily similar to what happened on Ascent's first pistol. Knights will be on the defense to start things off, though. Shiba taking the offense to kick things off here on map number 2. Map number 3 is Haven, too, if I'm remembering things right. So, if it does go that way, it's a map that Pittsburgh Knights do like. Throughout this qualifier, though, Knights are 1-1 on Bind. Take that as you will.
I think it's also interesting that, you know, Knights during this qualifier have been 1-1, but the team that they lost to is Time In, which, you know, Time In, they've been okay. I feel like they've been kind of an up-and-coming team, most notably having Ninja on the roster, who has been, I say, overall performing well, you know, considering that this is a very new game for him to kind of walk into. Ex-pro in Halo, and I guess you can say ex-pro in Fortnite as well. He was really good towards the beginning of it. Not quite sure towards the middle and current positions of it, but either way, definitely had their own streak of dominance. But that's a different situation. Knights managed to take them down, but they did lose Bind to them, and it was 13-8, as you mentioned. It shows a lot of promise that perhaps Shiba could upset. I think it's interesting as well that they're bringing out Chobo on the Sage. I wasn't all too confident on her picking that last time around, but I think it could be good if they could utilize those walls and honestly come around defense. I think maybe we can see her pop off a little bit more.
Yeah, I think Ascent was a map where Sage was initially not looked at as a classical option once the map was introduced. Still, Sage was a very usual pick on Bind until the Sage nerfs kind of made Sage almost a non-factor in the game. And now, here we see it back in again here in the hands of Chobo. I do like the Cypher play from Cevv, though, I have to say. I think that the info character on Bind is also a lot better than it is on Haven, or not Haven, but Ascent. I think I Bind Ascent, 2 great maps for a Cypher. Okay, Dawn.
Came to the wrong neighborhood, man. It's good that he died there. Like, he should have died there, but it's just the fact and the way that it happened.
Yeah, it's just...
sorry, but to continue on your point. Yes.
Yeah, no, my point kind of died with Dawn.
It's nighttime again.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, hopefully Shiba can go ahead and capitalize the death of Dawn and bring this one to dusk. They only have Spectres to show up against the rifles that are littering the side of Pittsburgh Knights, so it does seem like a hard-fought battle that they're going to be up against. But we said this for map number 1, and although Knights were able to run away with it flawlessly, this is a different scenario. There is not that change of pace that we saw previously from Pittsburgh Knights. They're very much kind of playing their classic default positions. Cevv, notice how he's not going for any crazy antics with the smokes, not trying to updraft, dash away anywhere. Playing back on site.
Camera taken out.
Contact,
No more charges
you'll back
left.
up towards mid-site to avoid any early spam damage. But check out this angle from DSR. They might not be fully aware of the fact that this is a possibility. Emphasis towards A.
It should be an A hit coming in here from Shiba, and ZK going to be that first point of contact. Ronaldo's scoped out, flame wall up, and actually Ronaldo will win that first duel. Khai going to be the first to fall, playing on the Phoenix instead of the Reyna. Zambie gets taken down as ZK finds another. ZK with 2 towards short. Chobo the last alive, 1 out bathroom. But that is all. And much like we saw on Ascent, my friend, the first 2 rounds went handedly the way of Shiba. And the gun round wasn't flawless this time, but still extremely clean for the Pittsburgh Knights.
Damn close to being, flawless. Only 1 fatality. I want to say it was Kyro. That's okay to lose 1 gun. I don't think you can be all too depressed of being able to win the round and keep things even. And yeah, that pattern does stay, true to tradition. That's obviously not going to be enough to ward off Shiba. They have enough money. That wasn't the worry that we had. The worry was what comes next. What happens now that Shiba have guns in their hands? What if this is another one-sided affair? Look at what poor Chobo is going to have to be up against. She is just going to be completely blindsided, and she doesn't even get the first chance to fight somebody. DK, with a very narrow peek behind that paranoia, is able to be incredibly lethal, and that's just an unfortunate, untradeable sort of frag. Luckily, Kyro elsewhere on the map is able to find a kill, so I suppose it is a trade, but more just kind of revenge exacted. Blow for a blow, an eye for an eye. Hopefully, a round for a round if you're a fan of Shiba.
Shiba slowing things down pretty heavily, though. Zambie just chilling out in the A teleporter. So I think it might still be an A hit coming in here from Shiba. Ronaldo and Dong to hold down that A site. 4v4, yeah, it should in theory favor the attacking squad, but the longer they take, the more information they allow the Pittsburgh Knights to get, the scarier things can go. Dawn has the Bulldog, though. That Bulldog is on A, and that is a bit of an opening window. A chance
30
for an opening
seconds left.
window, however, burst fire's ringing through a lot of damage here, and here comes Ronaldo. Next to face here, be faced, I should say. Paranoia not going to be dodged. Curveball comes out as well. Doesn't connect, though, but the spray goes awry. Only finding 1 in that, barely. Zambie and cevv eliminating the defenses here on A. Rotations are in the flank. Short coming in from DSR. Will not stop. Wait, it did. It stopped the plant. That's the game. Or the round, I should say, but still. That's a clutch kill.
That is huge. Just the turnaround in that round. It turned the round around. That's a confusing enough phrase to say, but confusing how it broke down as well. Brilliant show from Knights put on there at the last possible moment, despite all odds. Again, by all means, that round should have been done and dusted as soon as Ronaldo was dispatched of. You thought that run it back would actually be a little bit more imperative, but it didn't even seem to be all too necessary, really. But yeah, rough times, man. Very rough times. It sucks for Shiba to lose a round in that fashion after the round on a silver platter they were gifted. And worst reality becomes the only reality for Shiba here. They have stingers, they have some upgraded pistols. That's about it. That's where the good headlines end and where the good ones begin. For the other side, the opposition, the Pittsburgh Knights, should by all intents and purposes be able to take this one. There's a Molotov out over towards Cubby, which kind of telegraphs the possible positions that the Knights are trying to go ahead and overwhelm the B bomb site with. But Cevv he holds doesn't overstay his welcome. This is huge. Now look at where Khai is actually maybe kind of squander himself up to. The communication is not there. They lack the critical information. A run it back is also available. Get on the site, pop that, look for a frag, and baby, you actually have a possible round. cevv is going to try to shut down all attempts. He still lurks in over towards elbow, and he has done massive work. More kills being found. That body going to be camped, demolished, and the round finished. Wow! That fight back from Knights was something else entirely.
We good. We good.
Oh yeah, it was an insane battle pack from the Pittsburgh Knights, winning their duels, not allowing that run it back to do any real damage as well. That's huge for the Knights. They're starting to stabilize here on the defense. It's 3 rounds straight. Let's see those buys up from Shiba though. It should be solid. Yeah, indeed it will be. Rifles across the board, 3 Vandals, 2 Phantoms. Nice. 4 Vandals and 1 Vandal on Ronaldo.
Yes, this should do.
The thing too, the ult's still favoring the side of Shiba. They have the showstopper from the shadows and Hunter's Fury up.
You like observing magic?
Oh yeah. It's like the second I asked for the scoreboard, it popped up. I wonder who's pushing the buttons right now.
It's a one-man show, a two-man show, now that Boggs has gotten involved. But this will be a whole-on production at the B bomb site. Look at this, 8 players all ready to collide. 7 players, excuse me. Math is not my strong suit. Don't ever do math live. But thing is, can you do the math with how many ultimates have just been used? That's 4. Just to go ahead and try to take over Pincer on this B bomb site. It's absolute hell carnage on the server. But eventually it seems to be favoring the way of Shiba. Something that you weren't able to say for a lot of this series suddenly has had its headline flipped. But Ronaldo getting the kill with the aftershock. cevv dying for his sins to try to get the bomb down. This better be one hell of a plant, because that had such a high opportunity cost that I can't quite say it was worth it. Now, it's going to be the Rolling Thunder coming in next. Once again, who else but the Pittsburgh Knights are going to go ahead and lead the charge right on in. Under siege will be the B bomb site, retaken and completely and utterly obliterated will be Shiba. Oh no. Another situation squandered, and look at how much it cost them. So many ultimates taken down, Boggs. This is worst possible case scenario.
Every single ultimate available at the start of that round was used. Showstopper from the shadows, Hunter's Fury on both sides, the Rolling Thunder on the retake. ZK will actually grab the run it back now on his own, but it's still such an expensive round in terms of ultimates for the side of Shiba. And now look at their buy too. They have not a lot left in the bank. A couple players at $1,000 bucks. That's about it.
They have the buy though.
They do. Yes, they do. But after this, if they lose, that's where things get even more concerning. Although I think they're getting closer to max loss. That's the other thing. There we go. Bump.
The Jones were kidding.
Yeah.
This is what love is like.
It's a Romeo and Juliet story right there between the Aldrones. In fair bind where we lay our scene.
You are ridiculous. Unfortunately, though, I think we're going to be seeing nearly as much death in this round as you would in Romeo and Juliet, or any Shakespeare play for that matter. And it looks like first act might begin right here, and it's going to be very, very bloody indeed. 2 for 1. Chobo tries her best to trade it out, and she's only able to do 1. That's the only kill found for Shiba, mind you. And this is incredibly rough. As we enter the latter part of this round, about 35 seconds to work with. What is the move here? I mean, Shiba, obviously they're going to try to eat for a kill here. But
30
maybe
seconds
they try
left.
to double back TP over towards B? Seems like it. Right on cue.
That's smart.
It's their best bet, that's for certain. But there is one person, DSR, who could be a thorn in their side. He just has to wait, lie in wait, 30 HP. That's more than enough. That's 29 more than he needs. In fact, he is just unscathed for that first and only kill that he needs. 3 in the round as a whole. Phew. I'm happy with this.
That's a good, solid play by the Knights there. Shiba just kind of got obliterated right there, and we're never really able to stabilize. DSR locking things down. Larkin killing that planner. Perfect job right there, too. One thing I've noticed from the Knights is they're not overextending. Even when they're winning rounds, in SF margins. They're not overextending. When they do push, they go as a team or as a group. And that's something that can't be said for Shiba. In their post runs, they are overextending quite a bit, and it's starting to go against them, and it has been going against them. And they're finding no ways to really stabilize here. Although this hookah pop could actually work out pretty well. They're making so much noise, Kieran. It's a full-on telegraph. There's a plane flung across the map with a banner saying, Shiba is in hookah. Look over there. And Knights, I think they're still going to continue to focus out long. Because if Shiba also think the site's undefended, they could just go in, run rabid, and not clear the angles necessary.
Well, thing is, there's already an expedition coming on through markets here, so we'll see the most likely and obvious rotation coming on through. This should be a spike plant, though, so that is one of their big goals. You know, I mean, they have completed at least part of their bucket list. Now, if they die here, at least they made it this far. Zambie, though, you gotta hit those. Come on. There you are.
There he goes.
Second time's a charm, isn't it?
Better than third. One less chance that you have to waste. But still, a 4v2 not going to be the exactly best scenario for the side of Shiba. And now it's a 1v4 for Zambie. Ronaldo with the first. Zip for the tag. Not quite the frag. And, well, finally the frag on the classic this time. 6-2, 6 rounds straight for Pittsburgh Knights. And it's looking a little rough, Kieran. It's still technically early days here. There's still a chance to even out this half. And it is a defender-sided map. But still, Shiba not exactly being able to gain any traction. And that's my major concern here.
That's why it's so hard to feel optimistic about them, you know? I want to believe in Shiba. I love just like seeing their team, their logo every time I get to, you know, move in, add it to a scene. I feel happy. You know, I love Shiba, and I think they have a really fun team going, but Pittsburgh Knights are really just kind of one-upping them in multiple different ways. They're even getting, again, more adventurous when it comes to the CT side. It's something that has been continuing for the Pittsburgh Knights all qualifier long. And it looks like all their efforts have paid off because they are, yet again, just knocking on the door of that close qualifier. A couple of frags away, a couple of rounds away. I mean, when you realize that Knights only need 7 more rounds before this game is theirs, it becomes so much more scary to really feel confident that maybe Shiba can fight back. But they made it this far. Top 16 is already impressive. I mean, top 8, excuse me, is already incredibly impressive. They could still play for that 5th, 6th spot, so it's not over till it's actually over. Much less the game itself, but this round almost surely is over. Just kind of banking their ultimates, too. It's just carnage. Again, it's XXiF filling up the kill feed, and how many times do we have to say it, but Pittsburgh Knights are really putting on a clinic. Very one-sided.
Yeah, clinic's a good way to put it, man. It's a very good way to put it. There's been really nothing that Shiba have been able to do here. They've been getting schooled. They're sitting down with their notepads out, taking all the notes, and hopefully learning a lot, but they're not actually gaining any good results out of this. It's gonna take the homework to get a good result out of this one. Couple more rounds to start to bring this back, though. I would say they need at least 4. Well, they need the next 3 rounds. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say they need 5. I think 4 is still not enough.
Very likely that we're gonna see 4 maximum. Seeing how this round is panning out, cool. They get 1 kill onto XXiF, who's looking away. That's what happens. That's your revenge. I mean, that was just a complete and utter halting at B. Again, it's really rough to actually feel like Shiba can fight back and win this when it's 8 rounds in a row. Knights not really having any challenges brought to their table. They're dealing with a lot of these situations well with proper protocols. You know, they spot 3 players out with that drone, they back up, play sight, and toss some shock darts out over towards Hookah because they know that's most likely to be split. They're not going to be sending all 5 players up towards long. I mean, the scenarios running through their head, I'm sure, are more than I can even articulate at the moment. But I know, I mean, whatever it is, it's working out. I love Shiba and I love watching them, but I think right now they're probably going to have to fight for a spot in the 5th/6th qualifier place.
Yeah, I don't think this is the fireplace.
You're dead.
I think they're gonna try again here, but if they can bring something back, I'd like to see something at the very least. The huge rolling thunder, not gonna deter Khai though. Hunter's Fury finds something, but Dawn is shining light again upon the weaknesses of the Shiba squad. Spike not yet down, but Zambie has eliminated that threat of the Omen. This could be the round for Shiba. This could be the round to get them something back. Their first and 8 potentially would be massive confidence-wise. DSR not going over the APC, will spot nothing but the spike, and now 1. That could be a little bit more, but also potentially a little bit of a false positive. Yeah, still does have that the recon dart. Throws in the stuck darts, doesn't do any damage with it. Recon bolt destroyed. DSR taps and holds towards short, has a teammate watching it zip. If you want something to watch your back, this is probably the best option, but DSR needs to win that duel towards short. Does not capitalize, and Ziff's only good for 1. Shiba grab a round before the end of this half. If they can grab 2, that would be huge for them. This is the win condition they need to grab a second round here. Can they pull it off? Interesting note on the Knight side, though, before we get into this round. 4 players have 10 or more kills.
Jeez.
And then Don has 3.
Don is, look, he's a support, all right? Come on, bro.
Yeah, no, it's just
Don't
like,
bully
you have,
him.
like, all these people just, like, fragging out, and then, oh, hi, Don.
I mean, again, I always want
And 2 of those kills came in the last round.
Oh, yeah, that's even more true. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that. I mean, you know, getting into this round, like you mentioned, 8-4 actually has become a possibility. That was actually a really solid round by Shiba, and I can be happy, proud of that one. Yes, it took a couple of ultimates. Who cares? You know, you got it. You have that number on the scoreboard itself. You can start talking maybe more about how you can use the current ultimates that you have, that From the Shadows as well as a Resurrection on Chobo, and how it can maybe consolidate into something a little bit better. I'm wondering if maybe we see some early aggression, if you see that From the Shadows used to kind of act as a pincer, maybe act as a fake, find some information, go over towards CT. The options are limitless for Shiba, and that's what makes it kind of scary to go up against. Adventurous, once again, is the word, by the way, I should mention for Knights before I toss it over to you. Right now, this adventure is going to come quickly to an end as ZK holds the front line alongside Dawn, and he said that he only had 1 kill before that 2K in the last round. How's about another
30
2K?
seconds left.
You know what? How's about a 3K if he can still possibly help it? His opportunity comes right here, but it's squandered in Knights, excuse me, ZK rather, will pick that run right back up. We're into a 2-on-2 box.
2-on-2, make it a 1v2. It has to be a 1v2 for Dog, or not, rather Zambie, who has the From the Shadows, takes it all the way back towards B. This is huge. Look at the rotations. Neural Theft comes through, reveals the position of Zambie. Flash to ward off Zambie. Take it a second. And the BM classic play from Ronaldo to end the half. Oh, yeah. Breach flash spam for the win.
Your day, is it?
Oh.
I feel Ronaldo just like
Switching
kept all
sides.
of those flashes just for a situation like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Completely blinded. Unfortunately, our newfound Stevie Wonder couldn't do anything in that round. It will be 9-3 at half. Rough indeed for Shiba. Get it? Because they say they're dogs. They say that.
Shiba, you know.
Yeah, thank you. Hey. When you're making jokes about Shiba, that's how you know that it's been a bit one-sided, hasn't it?
Yeah, I have one in my back pocket for if this one ends sooner rather than later, too.
Well, it seems awfully likely. It's going to be on Shiba to kind of make me start doubting that, you know? They have solid pistols. They did really solid work on Ascent. Maybe they can take another pistol and then, you know, force Knights to think about how they can improve on their pistols as well. But it's gone off to a good start. Some early aggression towards mid B. We'll go ahead and prove to be a catalyst for Pittsburgh Knights, rather, to start moving up towards A, interestingly enough. And that's Spike. Interesting how Ronaldo's deciding to peek first with it. I would imagine maybe he wants to toss it a little bit further back, maybe to his comrade in arms, DSR, who's just kind of sitting and anchoring, waiting to bait out, trade a position. That's getting a little bit rough. All quiet on the western front here, Boggs.
Yep, it's very slow, very quiet. teams getting lulled into false insecurity here. That recon dart will start to signal the hit, and out through bathrooms, Shiba will, or rather Pittsburgh Knights will train. Shiba trying to get that first out towards a short. DSR though has eliminated Zambie. Chobo flushed out of U-Haul going forward. Nothing found though. It's ZK with the kill. Ronaldo getting that spike down. A flank is coming in from the Raze. Oh, that's a great shot there from ZK. The Burst Fire Classic though, I gotta say, pretty bad. It's still too good.
Yeah,
But
it's strange to think it was even better before. Right now, you got to be wishing that the classic burst actually came out there. Well, the classic giveth, the classic taketh, doesn't it, Bob?
yes, it does. It's a very fickle mistress.
It's not a bad thing necessarily. Knights, at least they end their streak of losing pistol round after pistol round, and it's a nice change of pace if you're a fan of Knights, but obviously not so much if you're on the side of Shibas.
Yeah, look at Shiba's buy too.
Well, they
If
have
this
Bucky.
was all stingers, I'd have more faith in this round.
What, are you saying you don't believe in the Bucky?
No, I believe in the stinger. I don't believe in the Bucky.
Well,
The Bucky could not exist in this game, and the game would be better for it.
whoa, too far, man. Bucky's god tier.
The shorty's better than the Bucky.
Okay, too far. Some
I have
harsh
a
words
vendetta
that you
against
just
the
said.
Bucky. It never
I'm
works for me.
I'm just hoping to see the Bucky actually do something this round.
It's
It seems more likely, again, the Stingers are the ones that are set up for success here.
They do have a bit of a sting to them. Look at the aggression out long, though. cevv, that's a huge first one. And there comes the stinger. Flank, though, from Dong. Gonna shut him down. And bring it to a 4v4 here. Time starting to dwindle away a little bit here. 50 seconds on the clock. Kyro getting a little aggressive
No
towards
way
the
this
hookah
works.
archway. Range at the Bucky. That's a great kill. And
See what I mean?
why does that not work for me?
You gotta right-click with it, man.
I do right click.
Well, they're just built differently. That's all I can say. And Khai also trying to be showing why he is built differently, showing
30
off why
seconds
he is
left.
the Lego to the Mega Blocks that are Shiba. And he's doing a damn good job at convincing me, somehow, some way, the buy that you're kind of talking trash about is gonna find Shiba their fourth. Okay, we're right back into this game. Bugs, wake up. Shiba have actually got ahead and brought a challenge to the table. Wow, I am actually so happy to see that. The Stingers, once again, you know, were probably more vital than the Bucky ever was, but that's a pleasant surprise. I'm happy. Look, Shiba, they're doing something. And actually,
Yeah, they are coming back a little bit here, but they are going to be up against the Sheriffs. Sheriffs can always be deadly, but I think they should be a fifth on the board for Shiba nonetheless. I don't particularly suspect them losing this round, and in fact, I hope for the sake of my sanity, Shiba sanity, and chat sanity, and your sanity, they don't lose this round.
well, I've seen more crazy things than you would ever believe. I'm like the guy from Blade Runner, only unfortunately a little bit nerdier, more focused on Valorant. There are, well, me neither, actually. I've just seen that one scene, but you know,
Okay.
that's a topic for a different time. I can go ahead and pretend I know all the movie quotes that I want, but when it comes down to it, right now, this is something right out of a movie,
Oh, no.
an action scene right out of a movie, and it's probably just about as well scripted. The actual competition is there. Pittsburgh Knights are losing these, or are winning these fights, excuse me, with nothing more than a couple of sheriffs and a hell of a lot of hope. Now they picked up a Spectre and they have bigger guns to work with, and do you believe that I can finish up like
Spike
this?
planted.
Well, go ahead, Kieran. Make my day. Let's see if they can actually pull this one off. The Sheriffs and the Classics, more importantly, getting all this work done. cevv down low. Kyro's in the yellow. Oh, this is... It's really bad, and it could just get worse here. Sakura Sheriff not going to land the shots onto Kyro, but XXiF has a one up and towards Hookah. Dodges the pain shells. Has a good amount of health, though. Kyro getting close to the gap. Jumps up the window right into XXiF's crosshair. That is on a silver platter right there. That is the worst possible angle that could have been cleared, could have been jumped. But Kyro went right into the pixel, the middle of the crosshair, and that is painful. That is...
Yes.
That's more than just a slap in the face. That is a stake through the gut.
I will find you.
That could be the death knell for Shiba.
I mean, again, what can I say here that hasn't already been said, other than at least Shiba are trying to make things a bit more dicey and fun. But I don't know, these fights seem a little bit spooky. Knights, they're going to go back to their slow play. Remember, this slow play is what I've been talking about Knights doing for the entire qualifier, really. And this is why it's so good. Against pace changes like the ones that currently Shiba are trying to do,
Watching here.
this is where it really shines. Chobo, she spots one. I want her to hit something like just a crazy one tap, but she takes a safer and better approach, a smarter approach to it. Unfortunately, no slow orb, no blind is going to do anything to stop the unstoppable cavalry that is the Pittsburgh Knights.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Rough times, but that's just kind of the Pittsburgh Knights really starting to kind of get a bit more comfortable with how they pace these rounds.
One enemy remaining.
Even dodging the flash too for good measure, as if he really needed to have that going for him as well. And there you have it. Just like that, one of the final nails in the coffin have been just hammered right in. There's one consolation kill, nearly a second on the Dawn, but the Stinger doesn't quite finish the job. And 12 rounds have been found for Pittsburgh Knights. Try as they might, Shiba are only finding rounds here and there. Otherwise, they are just being completely and utterly obliterated. Nothing more to it. I love Shiba, but this is just kind of how things have been panning out. This is a team, though, I want to mention, though. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a little bit of a spiel here. They made it top 8.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I
they're
think
still
this is
not
just-
done.
They're still not done, too. They can easily qualify through 5th or 6th. Like, this is a team that beat Spot Up, which is a team that has pulled together some amazing results, and still the round is not done. Yes, you're right, but you gotta imagine an 8-round comeback playing how they have been at the moment.
I'm not looking at a comeback here. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm looking at the 5th, 6th qualifier.
I think they can easily make it. This is a team well worth it. We saw some glimmers of hope.
Let me check the bracket real quick and see who they play.
Go ahead, because this round, it seems like we're actually going to see a bit of a break in the action. Trying to avoid saying the word lol as much as I can, because I know that triggers emotes immediately. Whenever people hear lol, you already can guarantee what they're going to spam.
Lol W forehead.
Exactly. You understand what's up. Pittsburgh Knights, again, with their signature slower style. Not quite defaulting out. They're just showing presence towards various parts of the maps, but not like actually extending for frags or seeing if anything's pushing. They'll quickly consolidate towards B at about the 40-second mark. And they will look to make a conga line up towards B. There's 2 players at the ready for Shiba.
30 seconds left.
Now we see all hell break
Joke's
loose.
over. You're dead.
ESR finds the opening kill, and unfortunately, as Khai tries to trade it out, there will be no dice at all. At least Kyro is able to do something, but it's a lukewarm victory, and unfortunately, things are fouled. It's Chobo against 4 here, but she can only take down the bomb planter. Perhaps kind of, you know, a parting shot before they're knocked out, but all in all, it really is kind of the finish and a lot of